Hey guys, how are you? I just got out of another appointment to follow up, and I'm very pleased with it because, wait, today is Wednesday, December 23rd. Yeah, right before Christmas Eve. So I'm so happy that there's nothing but good news. Hallelujah. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, because I've been feeling good, you know? So you don't want to be betrayed by your body and be like, oh, I feel amazing, I feel good. And then all of a sudden it's like, it's not amazing. But no, it was amazing. It was so fast too. This is like, I literally was like, can I get another appointment first thing in the morning? Because it is so quiet here. Like there's no one here. And this was a by mistake appointment because my appointment was really tomorrow. And they gave me a call and said, hey, can you come in a day earlier and just come earlier in the morning? I was like, abso-freaking-lutely. So here's what it is. He checked, and like he just checked, like he did like one of those like Dopplers. He didn't actually do a full-on ultrasound. He didn't like check, you know, but he found the heartbeat pretty fast. It was like, oh, her heartbeat is still very strong, very good, we're doing good, she's progressing. He felt around my belly, and then he goes, you're the perfect size for where you need to be right now. And then, of course, I asked him the questions that I had. Like, first of all, there are times where I'll wake up and my stomach is not all that big. I have a belly, but it's not as big. And then there's times that my belly is way bigger than it has been. So I'm just kind of like, is that normal where my belly looks bigger sometimes and then sometimes it doesn't? Like, I'm just, you know? And I know you guys like my faces and my expressions. And he was like, yeah, that's perfectly normal, don't worry about it. Like, that's just her moving inside of you, shifting, and you know, however she feels comfortable. If she's not comfortable like more outwards, then of course she's gonna be inwards, which means you're not gonna show as much. He goes, but you're fine, like I'm feeling her, you're good. I was like, okay. I said, okay, fine. And then the next question became, why is it that I said I've been, like the last time I was pregnant, it was like 8 years ago. So this may be normal, maybe not, I don't know. I said, but here's the question. There's like a lot of times throughout the day I will lay down, whether it's on my side or on my back, and I will feel one side of my belly harder than the other. And then as I adjust my position, the whatever is hard, like that mass, is literally like shifting inside of me. Is that her getting comfortable? Like, what is that? He says, well, it's two things. Your uterus is shifting and stretching inside. So it's shifting based on how the baby is moving too. He goes, so she's definitely moving around in there. And so, you know, she's getting comfortable. Then your uterus is shifting too. He goes, but it's not a contraction. You're not in pain. I'm like, no pain, no bleeding, no nothing. I'm good. Like ever since you put me on the progesterone pills, I am good. I sleep like a baby. I am not in pain. I am extremely comfortable. I feel really, really good. He goes, and that's what I want to hear. Everything is amazing right now. And I was like, thank you. So I have this joy inside right now. With every appointment, every few weeks or every other week, I just feel better, which is great. He says I'll be back in 4 weeks. I should be 24-ish weeks or something like that. Anyway, so the deal about it is we've already started talking about scheduling my cesarean. No, at 24 weeks I will be getting a steroid shot, which is going to help the baby develop her lungs. And then he says the next day I will come to the office and get a second shot. And this is all part of, since I've had issues in the past and I've gone through preterm labor, he goes, we just want to be prepared. So if she decides to come a little earlier, at least we've already got her on the steroids, so her lungs start developing a lot faster and she'll have the strength that we need her to have if she were to come earlier. And if she doesn't, well, at least we prepared. It's not harmful, it's just to help her. And I was like, I'm good with it, it's good. Okay, so I'll definitely get those 2 shots. Then he says, once you hit 30 weeks, we're gonna schedule your C-section. And I was like, so he was like, yeah, we're gonna schedule a C-section. You've had a C-section before. I think the safest thing is to get a C-section done again. It just makes sense. And then he goes, I'm not gonna make you go through unnecessary discomfort and pain. He goes, so we'll schedule your cesarean. During your cesarean, we will do your C-section first, get her out, and then we will remove your cerclage. That way we get it all done one day and I don't have you in pain, you know, a week or 2 prior. If it turns out that you go into early labor, then we're gonna take care of the C-section, get her out, and then eventually you can come in and we'll take your stitch out. He goes, the stitch is not an emergency to have removed. That's not the priority. The priority is the baby. So if I can do it all in one day, that's perfect. And if I can't, baby comes out first, and then eventually we remove your stitch. And I was like, I like your game plan, sir. I really like his game plan. So I feel real good because removing a cerclage is not sexy at all. And I'm using the word sexy not to frighten people, because I've had a stitch removed in the past and they don't numb you. At least I wasn't numbed. I went in not knowing what to expect. I was just like, okay, like fine dandy, I'll probably go in. And no, it was painful. Like it was bad, okay? And they just clipped it and then they were pulling and then and then I can see it on a tray on the side, like thing that they used to actually stitch. That was traumatizing. So I was a little afraid of I was actually more afraid of the cerclage removal than the idea of a C-section. But now I'm not super freaking out or anything. I'm actually pretty happy. I'm gonna go home. I don't need to stop for food because this was a really early appointment, so I ate. So now I'll go home and start prepping for lunch. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Hey guys, happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, December 29th. I just finished filming this tutorial. It's already up on my channel. Make sure you check the description box down below if you want to go check it out. I tried to have a lot of fun with it. I know it's not an everyday type of look, I get it, but it's all about having fun. We can't just do neutrals or cranberries every single time. Sometimes we have to step outside of our comfort zone. Whew, that was a lot of talking. Girl, I am having like little crampings, you know, little crampies, which is why I didn't work yesterday, Monday. I just chilled. I didn't even vlog or anything. I just like sat down and did nothing, laid in bed, and I did cook. But other than that, that's it. I have a follow-up appointment tomorrow with the perinatologist. But I'm feeling good though. It's just like minor cramping. But I think it's maybe if I hold my urine for too long, which I don't feel like I am, I go pee and it kind of goes away. So that might be it. I don't know. But anyway, that's what we're doing. We're gonna have to go film another video, which is great because my hair, girl, is dirty. I put a hair wax just to make sure I pull everything back, and those baby hairs that I had here, I ended up taking them out. I just couldn't do it anymore. They were like the regrowth. I just could not stand that regrowth anymore, and I know it was a mistake for me to remove them to begin with, like my baby hairs, but then the regrowths were just looking super awkward, and it was just weird, and there was no way that I can hold them down. So I said, you know what, it's time for them to go. So I like literally grabbed the tweezer and just tweezed the excess hair that I had here, which looked really bad. With that said, as you guys can see, I changed up the studio. Boom, boom, boom. I changed it up to accommodate lights. I'm gonna show you guys the lights now because I'm not gonna do a whole like studio update thing, but this is my closet where I keep all my makeup stored and that kind of thing. I moved this little shelf over here. You guys are familiar with this. Is usually on my background anyway. Here is the desk space that I had behind me initially. And this here is basically like my lippies. There's a whole bunch of them missing because they're up here. I've been filming lippies and stuff. Yeah, so this here is pretty familiar, except back here, instead of like clutter, I actually have lippies. I removed the frames, I put them somewhere else. And here we have this dry erase board, which I don't really use. Like, do you guys buy things with the intentions of like being organized and having a strategy and having a plan, and that it never works out? Because that happens to me all the time, like 24/7. I have so many planners that expire. So I just have to learn to stop buying planners because that doesn't work. But I have that. Then these frames were the ones that were behind me over the desk. Put them behind me by the door. And then I have purses hanging here because that's just the way I am. I'm messy. I brought my little trolley thing here for my brushes and stuff. And then here's the shelf that you would normally see behind me. Now it's no longer behind me, it's on the side, because it's kind of like, it bothers me that the lighting is not amazing on it. So like if it's the lighting is not amazing, then might as well remove it. I have a printer with more makeup storage underneath, my laptop, and I kind of like this vibe more. There's less going on behind me, which sometimes for thumbnails, it just becomes too much. And if you're asking, when did I do this? I did this on Saturday or Sunday. We did Secret Santa with the family. I ended up getting new lights, which I'm gonna show you in a second. And so I wanted to put them up, but I also knew that I would have to change things up. So I waited for Juan to leave the house because he wouldn't have let me. Like, no, you can't do that. You're pregnant, and I get it. So what I did was I waited for him to leave. He went to target practice and whatever with the boys, And then after I did it, I was like, I did something. And then I sent him pictures. These box lights I already had. I had the ring light, and this is like the boom stand with my mic. These two lights are the new panel lights. So what had happened was I ended up getting my box lights first to replace the umbrella lights that I had because they were no bueno. They were not like really giving me the lighting that I needed, right? So I ended up getting these, and then after I got these, I found the panel lights, and I was like, crap, I just got my box lights. I just put them up. This was in Jersey. I just put them up. It's gonna be a mission to disassemble them, send them back so that I can get the panels. So I said, you know what, whatever. I took the panels, I added them to my save for later in the cart, right? That way, if anything happened to my box lights, I didn't have to identify any new lighting. I could just grab my panel lights, right? So when it comes to Secret Santa, I'm being asked, well, what would she like? What do you want? What are you? And I'm like, I am such a basic, normal person, I feel like, right? Maybe I'm not normal because I was asked, what do you want? What do you need? What can your Secret Santa get to? Give us suggestions. And I did not know what to say. All right, I put you guys on a tripod just so that it makes sense because I was like doing one of these and I'm eating a piece of monster cheese because I got hungry at them because Juan's showing me restaurants and I'm like, yeah, I didn't know what I wanted. I couldn't think of anything. Like I couldn't identify anything. We're all healthy. We're all safe. And I know that, oh, that's kind of cliche. I don't need any more makeup. I don't need any more moisturizers and facial creams. It's hard to buy me clothes and shoes because my size changes by the week. So what else do you get someone for Secret Santa, right? And then it depends who your Secret Santa is. So it's just like one of those things. I didn't know what to say. And then Juan was like, hey, wait a minute. Apparently, he puts it out there that I had these lights over in my Amazon Save for Later cart. My Secret Santa ended up getting it for me, which is really, really nice. Not expected at all. So I made sure I moved everything. I organized the closet. I have way more space to walk around here. So I'm really, really happy because honestly, I started to feel like this room was pretty cluttered with me not having enough space to move around in it. Like the desk was really on this side. I had another desk behind me and then the boxes in the way. And for me to get in, it was a thing. So I'm really grateful that my Secret Santa ended up getting me the lights. Not that I couldn't get them for myself, but I didn't want to like just go out of my way to buy things that I didn't need at the time. But if someone's going to give to me, I'm going to take it, you know? So it was really nice. And I'm liking this setup better. Like I said, the background doesn't look super cluttered. Feels a little more homey. Girl, if I open up that closet, you guys are going to be like, what happened? Because even though it is organized, it's not a pretty closet. I haven't really invested a lot of time, energy, and like thought into what I would do here because it's not mine and I'm not gonna be here very long. So once we purchased the house, we're already looking, we're in process, but once we buy the house, that's a whole different story, you know? But we definitely need more space because right now, baby G is gonna need space. Anyways, I am going to go and film the other video, which will be hair product because this here is one of those like foamy things that you can buy. I bought it at Five Below because girl, my hair was a hot mess. And then on top of that, I don't have enough hair to create a nice bun like this. So this is a faux bun at this point. Yeah, there's a lot of hair wax on this baby. So I'm gonna go ahead, get to filming that other video. My hair will be washed, cleaned, and blow dried afterwards, which is wonderful. That way I don't have to worry about it for another few days. And then I'm gonna get to editing. Hey guys, okay, let's catch up. I just left my perinatologist appointment. So here's the dealio. I didn't get bad news, I got good news. I didn't get bad news, but any news that's not what I was expecting to hear is not necessarily good news, you know. So, cervix is good, cerclage is good. Oh, this is peeling. I just noticed that. Oh, I need to get a new one. Apparently I have a mild case of placenta previa. Say the cervix is here, the placenta is here. The placenta is touching the cervix. That's basically what it is. So they have to monitor it now, keep an eye on it and see whether it shifts and kind of goes over it and goes around it, or if shifts and it goes back. The goal is for the placenta not to be on top of the cervix in most pregnancies. I am going to be a scheduled C-section anyway. I have to get a C-section. There's not going to be any pushing going on for me. So placenta previa, what she's explaining is, presents itself as an issue when you don't have a scheduled C-section, or you're not going to get a C-section, the placenta is covering the cervix, and then your cervix starts to dilate because you go into labor, and then, right, because the baby needs to come out. Like, you lose your placenta, that's a problem. She was like, it's so early for us to be worried. Like, it's going to shift. It tends to shift along with the baby's movements, and it tends to shift along with, like, as the baby grows. We're 5 months now. I know, we're 5 months in. So she was like, next time you come in, we'll look at it again. Like, she says, honestly, I'm not concerned, but we do want to document it so we can keep an eye on it, being that you are going to get a why is, oh my goodness, let me do one of these. Jeez, does he know that I'm filming and he's doing this on purpose? I'm sorry, I shifted the camera over because somebody's changing their clothes outside. She says, it's still very, very early on, so there's not like anything really for me to worry about. And I said, okay. Like, so I'm like concerned here, you know, it's like I didn't have placenta previa with Ty. So in today's visit, it was slightly on the cervix. She was like, it could retract and go back the other way. It could move up. It could just move anywhere. I'm drinking my agua on it, like in my Clean Skin Club water bottle. And for those of you wondering why is that water so dark, I mixed it with just a little bit of cranberry juice because I got tired of like just plain old water. So for those of you who are also pregnant along with me, just know that from what she says, it does shift, it does move around, and it's not much of a concern until later on in the pregnancy when you're getting ready to pop the baby out. So there's nothing that I can do, because I said, okay, like, are there certain positions that I can lay in, or like certain things that I can do? Like, I wasn't volunteering to do yoga because I'm just not gonna do something like yoga or anything like that. But I was just like, okay, like, is there anything specific that I can do to kind of help the placenta move away or move along for the next appointment? She was like, no, you just have to keep doing what you're doing. Take your rest, feed your baby, and just take care of baby G. The placenta is gonna move around, just leave it alone. Baby takes care of it. I was like, okay. I mean, I'm not freaking out, you know, but I don't want to hear that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just another thing that I have to be like, oh, what does this mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? So, you know, I'm gonna go home and do all the research that I can, because that's just who I am. With that said, she gave me measurements. She says baby G is measuring 18.2. I asked her, is that like millimeters, centimeters, like what? She was like, we don't really measure like that anymore, because it, like, she's like this, you know, like her feet are not like really stretched out. So we base it off of what the system says, which is appropriate for where she needs to be, in the sense of like, she's not any smaller, she's actually a little bigger. And I was like, okay, so it's good. She was like, no, her size is good, we're good. And I said, okay. And then in weight, right now, she is 9 ounces, which any baby app says a normal weight for 5 months is supposed to be about 6 ounces. But no, I said, no, isn't she supposed to be like 6.5 ounces? She says, no, her length and her weight are perfect. For her length, 9 ounces is good. And I was like, okay. 9 ounces is not a lot for us. However, she's picking up some weight really well. So that's like, think a water bottle from Costco, like those Kirkland bottles. The water alone is 8 ounces of water, and then think the water bottle itself. So that's about 9 ounces. So that's what I'm carrying inside right now. Anyway, I'm gonna head on home. I just wanted to give you guys an update. I'm gonna go before I have to pee, because then I have nowhere to pee. I'm in the car, so I'll see you guys later. Today is December 31st. It is a Thursday, and it is the last day of 2020. And in my mind, I felt like I wanted to do this whole like long piece, but I kind of don't. I am ready to say goodbye to 2020. I will be doing a video where I am going to like give you guys the play-by-play for 2020. I've seen people do this on Instagram via photo, but I feel like I can do photos and commentary, like kind of like a story time, because I literally have a note on my phone, and per month in 2020, something happened. It's just beyond me at this point. 2020 had some huge lows for my family, like things that were so unimaginable that as we were hearing them happen, it was hard to absorb. So although there were some huge lows, we had a whole bunch of highs too, and it's just weird. So as I've said before, 2020 has been such an emotional roller coaster in general, like for our lives. To summarize 2020, it was full on chaos, okay? But I admit I can't really complain, because I did not go into 2020 with really high expectations. My expectations were very, very low. Then again, my expectations about almost everything are pretty low. That way I can be really excited and overwhelmed with joy whenever things turn out with a high. Is this making any sense? 2020 has been chaos. That's what it is. And although there were lots of lows, there were some highs for us as well. And those highs were absolutely amazing. So I cannot complain, but I am ready for 2021. So with this video, I am saying goodbye to 2020 because this is the last video of the year for me and my channel. Now, this doesn't mean I'm going anywhere. I will be here again in a day or two with a new video, but this is my goodbye to 2020. And I think everyone should go on their social medias if you can and just say your piece to 2020. Say sayonara, arrivederci, nos vemos después. No, matter of fact, I'll take that back. No te vuelvo a ver, because it's done. It's done, it's done, it's done. I really do hope that you guys have an amazing holiday, even if you're staying indoors. But I want to wish you guys an amazing New Year's. I hope that it's really safe for you guys, that you're filled with joy, and that this part that we're making with 2020 allows us to enter 2021 with the right foot forward. And if you do have high expectations, hopes, and wishes for 2021, I pray that everything you're looking for, you're seeking for, you're hoping for comes true. I'm grateful for your support. I'm grateful for all the love, and I'm grateful for all the prayers that have been coming my way. That is one of the most amazing things I've witnessed in 2020. Prayers have been coming my way from all of you guys, all of 2020, and I could not be more grateful. I hope to see and chat with each and every one of you in 2021. And with that, I'm signing off. Bye, guys.